Welcome back to Walls of Horror, and today I am going to talk about a few books that I've pulled off of my shelf. I had the idea of a video sort of like random books that I like or something similar. I was looking through my bookshelves the other day and I decided to, for this video at least, see how it goes. I pulled out 3 horror books that I have not shown on the channel yet. These are ones that I haven't talked about or done a review, but I've also not shown as an example of something or a book hauled either. So all 3 of these books will be brand new to the channel. I'll just do kind of quick synopsises. I'm not going to talk for 30 minutes on each one, synopses. So we'll get into it. Real quick before we do, do all the YouTube stuff, please. Up, down, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share it with your mom, any of that. Also, I am a horror writer. Currently, the best place to read my work is I do regularly post horror short stories to my Substack. I always put the link in the description. They're free to check out. Let me know what you think. Hopefully later this year, or at the maximum early next year, I will have a short story collection out, and I'll have more news on that when it comes. When I have it, it's coming together very well. And so I'm going to get into the books now. Now, all of these books are pretty old. I've had, and old, not old. They're not new to me. I got them, probably the newest I've had, maybe 10 years. This first one is the oldest one. This is Night Class by Tom Piccirilli, or The Night Class by Tom Piccirilli. This one actually came out in 2002. Yeah, this is a 2002 mass market paperback. Now, I hope Tom Piccirilli passed away a few years ago, and so I'm not sure the status of what books are available or where. With KDP and self-publishing, probably Amazon would be the best place to look. eBay for these older ones. I know this one would definitely not be available because this is a Leisure Books, and they right, well, I'm not going to show that off. It's blurry. But Leisure Dorchester does not exist anymore. So they had a great horror line. They published Tom Piccirilli, a whole lot of Jack Ketchum, Brian Keene, a lot of other great writers. But yeah, The Night Class. This one, I actually have the least memory out of the 3 that I picked up. So I am going to read the back to you. It's sort of like a almost like a supernatural slasher at like a college. The college winter break is over and Cal Prentice faces yet another semester of boring classes. But Cal's boredom is shattered when he discovers evidence of an unspeakable murder that occurred in his dorm room over the break. Obsessed with finding the truth about this gruesome crime, Cal travels further and further down the twisting halls of a university suddenly gone mad. As he gets closer to the heart of the mystery, Cal is surrounded by the supernatural, grotesque. Oh, the supernatural and the grotesque, like the blood that appears on his hands whenever someone close to him dies. Yeah, like I said, my memory, this was the oldest one that I've read of the 3 I got. My memory of this is very much like a slasher type thing. What is this? Look, there is a, I'd forgotten that was in there, or even that I left out. I don't know how well this is coming out. I don't want to rip this book apart because the Leisure Books are getting harder and harder to find, but there's like a mail-in order form for the Leisure Horror Book Club. Please send me 2 free books. I have enclosed $2 for shipping and handling. Each month, I'll receive the 2 newest Leisure Horror selections to preview for 10 days. So yeah, dude, if you had all those, if you did that and you had all the Leisure books from back then, you would have a fair bit of money now. The next one I'm going to show off is actually a Penguin Classics. Ray Russell, The Case Against Satan. I always like when Penguin Classics when Penguin does a horror book. You see, this is a really thin thing. I suppose technically this might be a novella, but it is actually an Exorcist book. It's very similar to The Exorcist. There is a young girl who is possessed, and Catholic priest exorcise it. It's really good. It's really quick. And it actually came out before the Exorcist book. In fact, let's see. 1962 is when this came out, or when the original came out. This edition was like from 2015, and it does have an introduction by Laird Barron, who is one of my favorite modern, currently working horror writers. So the third book is a short story collection. This is North American Lake Monsters by Nathan Ballingrud. This is an awesome cover. I want to say this is probably the newest one that I have. Yeah, oh no, 2013. So yeah, and I bought both of these new when they came out. The Night Class Tom Piccarilli I picked up in a used bookstore roughly around this time as well. Yeah, this is a great short story collection. Now there is a great, I've talked a bunch of times how much I like cold weather horror. John Carpenter's The Thing is my favorite movie of all time. And there's a great cold weather horror that he wrote with, I believe, Dale Bailey, called The Crevasse. I'll show all these. I'll show the whole TOC real quick. But The Crevasse is a great story. I read this when I got it, and I've read a couple of the stories since. I reread The Crevasse the most. I do remember really liking Sunbleached and North American Lake Monsters, but all of these stories were good. In fact, this may have won an award. I don't know. I'm sure that it was nominated, but this is a absolutely great modern. It's 12 years old now, or no, 13 years old now, but a great modern short story horror collection. And you cannot go wrong with The Crevasse or any cold weather horror. I've read a couple other Nathan Ballingrud since. I believe he's had a couple novellas out. I remember one with like a cell phone being left in a bar, I believe. But I've read a couple, and they've all been good so far. In fact, yeah, let me go back through. I've probably read more Nathan Ballingrud than I have these others. But he's a very good modern horror writer. This is the only thing I've ever read or heard of by Ray Russell. And I've read a couple of novels and a few short stories, and Tom Piccarilli also had a couple novella releases as well. So, and so I've read a few of those. So, in order of my most read, we'll start with this one, and then this one as far as most read authors. So yeah, real quick, these are 3 random horror books I pulled off of my shelf 10 minutes ago. The Night Class by Tom Piccarilli. Again, all of these are recommends. I would not do a video and then be like, I don't buy this book unless it was like a new release. The Case Against Satan by Ray Russell. And North American Lake Monsters by Nathan Ballingrud. Alright, so that is 3 random horror books from my bookshelf. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about any of these authors or books. If you can recommend any other works by any of these authors, please do so. Let me know what you think about the video. Like I said, it's a little bit more spontaneous than I usually do my videos, but I thought it was interesting. And let me know, and I will possibly do other videos of similar format. But either way, even if you hate it, that wraps this one up. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.